Good afternoon, and thank you for joining the presentation of our paper titled Challenges Seniors Face Dealing with Service Innovation in the Vacation Rental Industry, Case of Senior Users of Airbnb. My name is Majdouline. I am going to be the presenter of this paper, and this paper was co-written by me and my co-author, Ummy Fadhilah. The purpose of this research, this study is a qualitative study that aims to understand what challenges seniors face using service innovation in the vacation rental industry with a specific focus on online rental platforms. We have three goals for this study. The first one is to identify challenges and barriers that seniors face using the online rental service Airbnb. The second one is to define the challenges that younger Airbnb hosts face while hosting senior travelers. And the third one is to analyze the behavioral difference between a senior host and a senior guest as users of the platform. The global population aged 60 years old and over is experiencing a very strong growth. According to the 2017 United Nations World Report, the number of older people is expected to reach nearly 2.1 billion by 2050. And Amadeus regards seniors as people which ages range between 50 and 75 years old, and they are called active seniors. So considering the increase of life expectancies, the average seniors are relatively healthy and seek more active lives. And the consumer segment of senior travelers aged between 50 and 75 years old is becoming more and more relevant for the tourism industry. So according to the American Association for Retired Persons, in their 2018 travel trends report, they stated that 79% of senior travelers preferred renting homes than booking hotels for their trips. And one innovative service that stands out in the online vacation rental industry is Airbnb. So, what is an Airbnb? Airbnb is an online platform that provides access to short term rentals such as houses, apartments, and rooms. And the 2019 report by Airbnb offers a flagrant example of the growth of this segment of seniors. The platform witnessed an increase of 102% in the number of senior hosts over 60 years old since 2017 and a growing number of senior guests by 64% compared to 2018. The seniors are currently considered the fastest growing demographics for Airbnb with over 200,000 senior hosts. Uh, the overview, the literature we used as a reference we focused on three axes on the literature: seniors and their travel motivations, seniors and their relationship with technology, and the intergenerational conflicts. The data and the methods. So the methodology we used is a qualitative. This research is a qualitative research, and the empirical data was collected using 22 semi-structured interviews with different young and senior host guests who have official active Airbnb accounts for more than 1 year and hosted senior travelers before or still hosting senior travelers. The participants included 12 females and 10 males, aging from 25 to 70 years old. All the interviews were conducted in English from December 2018 to March 2020, and the snowball sampling technique was used to recruit the next interviewees. Every interview lasted no more than 1 hour, and we used Skype due to time differences and long distance. All the interviews were recorded and transcribed. Our respondents profile. So 55% of our respondents were females, 45% were males. Our ages ranged between 25 years old and 70 years old, and 50% of our respondents were between 25 and 35 years old, and over 50 years old of our respondents, which were our seniors in this study, represented 18%. The duration of the use of Airbnb. So all 55% of our respondents used Airbnb between 1 year and 2 years, and 45% of our respondents used Airbnb for more than 2 years. The 52% of our respondents were employed full-time, and 29% were employed part-time or freelancers, and 19% were retired. The Our respondents were from different nationalities. 55% of our respondents were from the United States, and other participants were from United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Belize, Philippines, and Spain. So the emergent patterns of our interviews were as follow. The motivations for using Airbnb for younger respondents. All our respondents between the age of 25 and 47 years old emphasized that they rent their properties to supplement their income. Some of our young respondents also stated that they enjoy networking with travelers from other countries to recommend travel and destinations. For the motivations for using Airbnb for senior respondents, their motivation, in addition to making a substantial income or to complete their retirement, they emphasized on meeting new people and making new connections. As quoted by one of our respondents, for me, it's simple. Financially, I don't need Airbnb. I just need to meet people to keep human contact. Misunderstandings of the Airbnb concept and mismatched expectations. So 12 of our respondents aging from 25 to 37 years old reported that most of their senior guests could not differentiate between an Airbnb and a traditional bed and breakfast (B&B), which most of the time led to various misunderstandings with young hosts incapable of meeting seniors' expectations. And as quoted by one of our respondents, a lot of my elderly guests don't seem to understand the Airbnb concept at all. They expect a full breakfast every morning and me coming every day to change the sheets or the towels. They all seem to expect a B&B experience instead. The use of technology. All of our respondents, excluding our four senior interviewees, claim that the senior guests they hosted before faced some difficulties using the Airbnb platform. As quoted by one of our respondents, I had some very nice senior guests, but technologically inept, and find it a little challenging to navigate the website. Our young interviewees also reported that seniors find it very challenging to use different technology related services or devices, such as Wi Fi, smart TVs, streaming TV services like Netflix, etc. So, as quoted by one of our interviewees, I hosted a couple in their 70s before. They couldn't figure out how to use the smart lock of my house, which was quite a headache because I got a call from them every time they needed to go out to try to explain to them how to do it. The constant need for help and assistance. During the interviews with young respondents, especially those who are in their 20s or early 30s, they repeatedly stated in their answers their frustration about senior guests, always in need of some sort of help and assistance. As quoted by one of our respondents, senior guests require a lot of patience and assistance. Two of our senior respondents also brought up the need for assistance, but did not restrict it to a specific age. I had guessed my age and also younger, and some of them seem to need assistance, but I guess all guests need that at a certain point. I cannot limit it to a specific age. Communication channels. During our interview, some of our respondents stated that seniors prefer to interact face to face with a host or to speak through phone calls instead of mail or text messages. And we also asked our senior interviewees about their opinion, what communication channels they preferred the most, and all of them emphasized that they prefer phone calls or in person meetings. As quoted by one of our respondents, I prefer when the host greets me in person. That way, I feel more at ease and I can speak them and I can ask them questions about the property. Negative experiences and the reviews, and this is the last immersion. The last. This is the last immersion pattern of our interviews, and the ratings and the interview and reviewing process in Airbnb is taken very seriously and can decide if the host can keep using the platform or will be removed. While conducting our interviews, all of our respondents expressed that the ratings and reviews are crucial for their survival. So reviews are everything for Airbnb. Most of our guests choose us based on what they read in our review section, as quoted by one of our respondents. And most of our young respondents stated that one of the reasons they don't like having senior guests is that they always leave negative reviews on the platform about their experiences and don't seem to understand the severity of it, and they give poor ratings for unnecessary reasons. As quoted by one of our young respondents, I don't like senior guests. They are fussy, they are ready to drop bad ratings for ridiculous reasons. I had a couple giving me a 3-star rating because I didn't have it guarded. Come on, seriously. I clearly wrote that in my listing. In this study, we discovered that seniors face various challenges using service innovations such as online rental platforms. These challenges were not exclusively related to the use of technology, but also intergenerational gaps, miscommunication, misunderstanding of the concept as a whole, and mismatching expectations. Previous studies also often emphasize that seniors are anxious to adopt or use new technologies. This study partially confirmed this assumption on one hand. Some senior users of the platform could easily create accounts and make reservations and payments, but on the other hand, they faced some difficulties using smart and digital devices in some properties. So the young respondents expressed that the constant need for help and assistance was also considered a challenge when hosting older guests, while some others echoed that the fear of negative reviews and bad ratings created a particular animosity against elderly guests who tend to be more critical and negative, which can also be considered as a challenge to seniors. This research also showed that the senior segment should not be considered as a homogeneous group because seniors who were using the platform as hosts behaved differently than the seniors using the platform as guests. The hosts we interviewed had no problem using the platform. They had some kind of expertise and they knew how to use the platform and how to handle it in their everyday tax, task, tasks. Sorry. They also seemed to enjoy new experiences and had no fear of communicating with younger people. They also confirmed that they are more willing to give positive reviews than negative ones, explaining that they related to the damage that bad reviews can create for hosts. This finding can confirm that there is a clear behavioral difference between a senior as a host and a senior as a guest user of Airbnb. The findings of the study provided some new insights about seniors, enablers, and barriers. And using innovation services that would have been difficult to capture using other quantitative methods. While previous studies focused on technology related challenges, our study showed that the use of modern technology is not the only barrier. Other enablers should also be considered in future studies. Seniors represent a great opportunity for tourism because they have more time to travel and have more financial resources to spend compared to younger adults. So online companies such as Airbnb should consider other enablers and should not only focus on making the platform simple or friendly. The limitations and future study. Although the respondents interviewed for this study offered plenty of information, they were really helpful and they were really open to answer our questions. The sample is still relatively small, and having a greater number of respondents, especially senior informants, would have probably provided various other challenges and insights. A quantitative study may also be used in the future to confirm the results of this study and to broaden our understanding of senior users of service innovations. Thank you very much for your attention.